For tonight's homework, I'm going to show you both methods to get the same answer to solving these systems of equations. So here we go. Also, I have a problem at the end that I would like you to copy down and show me tomorrow. I will give you some extra credit if you do. So here we go. The basic parts for substitution are making sure one of the variables is by itself. Once that variable is by itself, it tells you where to substitute. It tells you what you're taking and substituting in there. So where that y used to be, I substitute the negative x plus 1. Now I'm going to combine these like terms and solve for x, and then take that x number and plug it in. Probably the easiest one right here. Plug that negative 1 in for x. That double negative makes it 1. 1 plus 1 gives me 2. So that answer is negative 1 for x, 2 for y. Linear combo method will give me the same answer, but instead of substituting, I do the math to my equations to get them ready to stack. So right here I add x to both sides, gives me x plus y equals 1. Now I'm ready to stack them on top of each other. My negative x and x will cancel. Y plus y gives me 2y. 3 plus 1 gives me 4. Divide both sides by 2 and I get y equals 2. Take one of the equations and plug that number in. I chose this one right here because it's a little harder, but that's okay. I plugged in 2 for y, took away 2 on both sides, and then divided both by negative 1 to get that final answer, negative 1. So the same exact answer as substitution. All right, so here we go. Next problems. For these, I'm going to show you again how to get that answer to negative 1 using both methods. So the substitution method, first, where that x used to be, I'm going to substitute y plus 3. I still have the plus y there and the 3. I'm going to distribute that 2 all the way through, which is going to give me 2y plus 6 plus y equals 3. Combine my like terms. Combining my like terms gives me 3y plus 6 equals 3. And then now start my inverse operations. Take away 6 on both sides. That gives me 3y equals negative 3. Now divide both sides by 3 and gives me y equals negative 1. Take that negative 1, plug it into either equation for y. I choose this first one right here because once I plug that number in, it gives me the x number right away. So where y used to be, I plug in negative 1 and then plus that 3 gives me 2. Putting those answers together, 2 for x, negative 1 for y. Linear combo method will give me the same answer, but I got to stack them on top of each other. For this problem, I need to take that first equation and do one simple step to it to get it ready to stack. So I take that equation and subtract y on both sides. Gives me x minus y equals 3. And now they're ready to stack. I take my second equation, I write it right underneath that first one after I've changed it. So 2x plus y equals 3. And then I add straight down. My x and 2x are going to combine to give me 3x. My y's, because they're opposite, will cancel. So I get 3x equals 6. Divide both sides by 3. And I get that x equal to 2, the same answer I got using substitution. And then now choose either the equations to plug that x as 2 in and solve for y. I'm using the one with a 2x, so where that 2 or that x used to be, I plug in 2. The original 2 is still there. And then 2 plus 2 plus y equals 3 gives me 4 plus y equals 3. And take away that 4 and gives me the same answer, y equals negative 1. So that is same answer, 2 for x, negative 1 for y. All right, problem number 2, substitution. Again, that x plus 3 will substitute into the other equation's y. So that y by itself tells you where in the other equation to substitute. That x plus 3 tells me what I'm plugging in there. So that's going to give me x plus, where y used to be x plus 3, equal to 1. Combine your x's to get 2x plus 3 equal to 1. Take away 3 on both sides, and that gives me 2x equals negative 2. Divide both sides by 2, which gives me x equals negative 1. Take that negative 1, I'm going to plug it into that first equation where x was, I plug in negative 1, and then negative 1 plus 3 gives me 2. So that answer is negative 1 for x, 2 for y. Linear combo method. Again, I will need to get these in a way that I could stack them on top of each other. So I will take, again, that first equation and get the x and the y all on one side. So it looks like for that equation, if I subtract x on both sides, it gives me negative x plus y equals 3. It's ready to go. Take that second equation, stack it right underneath. Combine these, add straight down. My x terms cancel for this problem. And then I get 2y when I combine my y's. 3 plus 1 gives me 4. Divide both sides by 2. And I get my final answer there for y, the same as the substitution method. Y is 2. Take that 2, plug it in. Either equation, where that 1 that I chose, where y used to be, I plug in 2. And then taking away that 2 on both sides will give me the answer for x, which is negative 1. So the same answer as substitution, negative 1 for x, 2 for y. All right, last problem. And then I have the extra credit problem. So for substitution, this y plus 9 will substitute where that x used to be. So I will have 4 still there, but then where x used to be, I have y plus 9 plus y equals 1. I will have to distribute that 4 to get 4y plus 36 plus y equals 1. Combine my like terms to get 5y. And then there I will do inverse operations. I'll subtract 36 on both sides. Gives me 5y equals negative 35. Divide both sides by 5. And that gives me what y is. Y equals negative 7. Take that negative 7, plug it in to either equation. I choose that first one, which is easier. With y used to be, I plug in negative 7. And then negative 7 plus that 9 gives me 2. So that answer is 2, negative 7. Linear combo will give me the same answer, but I will need to make sure they're able to stack on top of each other. So again, I will have to take that first equation and take away y on both sides. That will give me x minus y equals 9. The other equation I'm going to stack right underneath to get that 4x plus y equals 1. When I add straight down, I get 5x. The y's cancel. 9 plus 1 is 10. And divide both sides by 5, I get that same x equal 2 answer. And then take either equation, plug 2 in for x. I choose that 4 one, so where the x used to be, I plug in 2. The 4 is still there. Gives me 8 plus y equals 1. Take away 8 on both sides. Gives me the answer y equals negative 7. Same answer as the substitution method. 2 for x, negative 7 for y. Both will give you the same answer. All right, here comes the extra credit problem. So write this down, show me, or have it on your homework. So I'm going to show you a linear combo problem that's not ready to eliminate yet. I'm going to choose the first way to eliminate my x terms and do the math that it's going to take. So for my x terms to cancel, I need 1x to be positive, 1x to be negative. So I'm going to multiply that whole top row by negative 1. I could have multiplied the bottom row by negative 1 if I wanted to, but I chose that. Distribute that negative 1 all the way through, so negative x minus 3y equals negative 4. Take that second equation as is, and write it right underneath the new adjusted one, which will give me x plus y equals 2. And then you can see y multiplied by -1. Now my x's cancel, and I'm only solving for y there. So -2y, I get -2. Divide both sides by -2, and I get the y equals 1 answer. If I wanted to solve x, take either of those equations and plug in y is 1, which I'm doing right here. So to solve that equation, I have x, and then where that y used to be, I'm going to plug in 1. I still have the equal and the 2. And then when I solve that, take away 1 on both sides, that gives me x equals 1. So that answer is 1, 1. Now I'm going to do the same problem, but I'm going to show you how to eliminate the y term instead, and show you how that will still give you the same answer. So pardon me while I delete all these steps here. Alright, if I choose to eliminate the y terms instead, I will need to get a 3y and then an opposite, a -3y. So that tells me I need to multiply that whole bottom row by -3. That will get the y terms to cancel like I want. So if I multiply everything by -3 all the way through, triple distribute, I will get -3x minus 3y equals -6. Take that first equation as is, stack it right underneath. Add straight down. Gives me -2x. My y's cancel. -6 and 4 give me -2. When I divide by 2, that gives me x equals 1. And then if I take that 1 and plug it into that same equation, where x used to be, I plug in a 1 and solve that for y. And sorry about that. So plus y equals 2. Take away 1 on both sides. Gives me the final answer for y, which is y equals 1. So you could see both ways gave me the same answer. And then you can see both methods, linear combo and substitution, also give you the same answer. Show me tomorrow. Good luck.